Good morning, brothers and sisters. Have you shouted for joy today? As I like to remind you always, so that we can guard our mind. For there is a direction when we shout for joy, so that our heart turn towards God. The contents of shouting for joy usually are the Lord's victory, our relationship with the Lord. Those are the glorious messages to be the great help for our spirits. This would guard our mind, and very often our body are driven when we shout for joy. For example, to lift up our hands, to look up to the sky, and to smile, etc. These can lift up our spirits to be more glorious. Therefore, shouting for joy consists of lots of good elements which can safeguarding our spirit in honor. It is good to shout for joy every day, because sometimes shouting for joy is a bit unidirectional. I'd like to remind you all there is a very beautiful thoughts can help us a lot of having fellowship with the Lord. And what is this thought? I have actually mentioned before, but I'd like to say it again. That is when you're calm or when you're busy. You can think of, Abba, oh Lord, you're here, your presence with me. You can try now, quiet yourself and think. You can look at the sky and say to Abba, say to the Lord, Abba, you're here. Oh Lord, you're right here. Your presence with me tremendously. Let's have this thought first, then you talk to the Lord to think of His presence. You can pause here, then we shall taste the sweetness. Then you can talk to the Lord. Oh Lord, you're here. What do you want me to do? You can ask the Lord. You can come before Him and talk to the Lord. Oh Lord, what do you want me to do the most? You can ask the Lord. You come to the Lord at this moment. You can ask the Lord, what do you want me to do most? On that moment, you have a direction to have the interaction, a conversation with Him. Sometimes the Lord will tell you, let's go to work peacefully, or let's go and help such and such. Let's ring up such and such. Sometimes the Lord will tell you, and it's an action. Or the Lord will ask you to sing Him a song. Then you can experience the fellowship with the Lord, but not the unidirectional communication anymore. When we draw near the Lord, you can quiet yourself, and the Lord will talk to you sometimes. When He inspires you, it is not the voice you can hear by your ear, but your spirit can sense His will. When you have the interaction with Him, generates the loving fellowship. This experience is the most personal. This only belongs to you and the Lord at that moment. This is truly the golden, the diamond time. I like to remind you, besides shouting for joy, you can learn to practice these beautiful thoughts. That the Lord is here. He is present. You can quiet yourself and ask the Lord, what does the Lord want you to do? And then have the interaction. I believe you can experience the Lord is living. May the Lord bless you. There are a few verses I'd like to read with you. The first one is in the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 12, verse 33. And it said, sell your possessions and give to the needy. Provide yourself with money bags that do not grow old, with a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thieves approaches and no moth destroys. And the other verses is in the Act of the Apostles, chapter 10, verse 2. And it said, are devout men who fear God with all his household, gave alms generally to the people, and prayed continually to God. Here is the New Testament talk about giving to the needy. There are lots of appeared in the Acts of the Apostles, gave alms generously to the people, and prayed continually to God. It came in one verse. Godlessly fear God sounds very spiritual, but to give to the needy is very practical. It has appeared many times in the New Testament to give to the needy. To give meant to share, to give out. It was not just to give out the material things, but to comfort, to help, to support. For those who is giving out is closely related to the one who feared God, and godliness person, a righteous person. It is because if a man who loves God, he comes with action. To give to the needy, that is to give out. It means to help others. There was a lot of verse appear in the Old Testament as well. How about we have a look at one verses in Psalms 112 verse 9. It says, He has distributed freely. He has given to the poor. His righteousness endures forever. His horn is exalted in honor. It was the same in the Old Testament. There were a lot of verses mentioned to distribute, to give to the poor, to share. I can say this kind action to help those that are in need is the characteristic of the righteous. In Psalms 37 mentioned, the wicked borrows but does not pay back, but the righteous is generous and gives. We just read the verses, His righteousness endures forever. That means He is remembered forever, and this is pleasing to God. Not that He was blessed once, but He is well accepted by God. So it is important to help others. In Proverbs also teaches us, whoever brings blessing will be enriched, and one who waters will himself be watered. In other words, the more you give, the more you receive. If you water others, when you help others and refresh others, but you receive the spiritual blessings. This is the spiritual principle of Christians' behavior. It is also the principle of being blessed. Do you know in Proverbs chapter 28 mentioned, whoever gives to the poor will not want, but he who hides his eyes will get many a curse. Hides his eyes means if you pretended you didn't see it. Actually, God really hates those people very much. God really wants us to help others. Why we are more abundant? When we help others, God is so happy. Therefore, God gives us more so that we can give more to others. This is the channel of how God's blessings to others. Brothers and sisters, it is a virtue to help others. Let us think, if you can help others, that means you are able to help. It is within your abilities, and sometimes it is a tiny matter. There is no effort for you at all. It is so easy. Even we may not realize we have helped others, but it may be a simple prayer, a word of comfort, and that could be a help for him already. He may be very grateful to you. Let's think, it is too little to do a good turn daily. We can do a lot to help others, to bless others in a day, so it is not a great effort at all. You can think when you can help today, who you can help today, to pray for him, to write a bookmark to encourage him. It is easy to do and you can do it. Or you can have an ambition to do 3 things which can help others. to help the children or the elderly, which is very good also. God will bless you. I'd like to tell you a story about helping others. There were a couple who have moved to a new house. There was a housewarming party. It was very happy. And when their friends were living, and there were a couple at the same building, rang their doorbell. They were standing at the doorway who lived at the first floor. Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence were here to welcome them, and Mr. Lawrence said, "I'm wondering if you can help me." And the new resident said, "Hi, Mr. Lawrence, what can I do for you?" Mr. Lawrence answered, "It may be good if you can close the entrance door on the ground floor lightly when entering and leaving the building, for my father has heart attack. In the past, he would be frightened by the noise, and I'm so sorry to bother you." The couple who were newly moved felt embarrassed, for it was so noisy when their friends were leaving their building. Then the new resident asked, "That shouldn't be any problem, but I'm afraid I may forget sometimes. If your father cannot be disturbed by noise, then why do you live on the first floor? For it is quite noisy." And Mrs. Lawrence explained, "It is not good to live on the first floor, for it is wet and dirty and noisy as well. But my father-in-law need to use the walking sticks, and he had a heart attack. He can't be too active, so we have to put up with the first floor." The couple heard it and were very touched. Then they have agreed to be more cautious about it. After a period of time, the couple realized this building was quite special, for everyone closed the main door at the entrance of the building lightly. They will not slam the door, for all they have done is to do a favor for Mr. Lawrence. Everyone were so willing to help in order to protect old Mr. Lawrence. Time flies quickly. 1 year has passed. Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence saw this couple. They have a few chat, and suddenly they gave this couple a big hug. Then this couple asked Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence, "Are you okay?" Mr. Lawrence's eyes turned red, for his father passed away last night. Mr. Lawrence's father has asked his son to thank the neighbors for their consideration and help all these years. He has caused trouble to everyone. He asked his son to give everyone a big hug to express their appreciation. Mr. and Mrs. Lawrence has gone home, and this couple has tears in their eyes. They were deeply moved in their hearts. It's only closing the door lightly, a little extra help they have done, but it was deeply appreciated by others. It was out of their imagination, and they do not deserve your thanks. They have tried their best to help. Brothers and sisters, have you ever think the least you can do can be the big help to others? I especially like to say is to preach for the Lord, to bear witness for the Lord. It may be a simple sentence. You may rouse up the need of knowing the Lord from your families and friends. To express your love testifies the spirit of self-denying Lord. To testifies the Lord Jesus' love who knelt on the cross. Actually, it is so easy. All you need to do is to send a message to invite them to join the meeting. That person may give thanks to you for his entire life or even until eternity, for he can know the Lord and be saved. It is certainly a big matter, the greatest blessing. Brothers and sisters, this is only the least you can do. Are you willing to reach out your helping hand to the people, to offer your little help? You may change his entire life. Brothers and sisters, don't look down on your tiny matter which you have done to others. A simple sentence to testify for the Lord can definitely affect the life and death of others. May the Lord bless us all, so that we are not reluctant to giving out to the needy, to help others, to share with others our life and what we have. May the Lord bless us.